There is no state law for navigation. However, Alaska follows the international rules of the road. Within the navigation rules, there are rules that apply to proper lookout, where all people on a boat need to maintain proper lookout, not just the operator, but everyone on the boat. And that means scanning for hazards such as partially submerged logs, other boats, marine wildlife. Another rule pertains to safe speed, and there are many factors involved in that. So visibility, traffic density, the water state, is it flat calm or is it 5-foot seas, are considerations of how fast you should go. Another determinant of safe speed are no wake zones. So for example, entering or exiting into the harbor, there are signs and there are aids to navigation that say no wake. An operator of a power vessel is responsible for their wake, so it's important for them to be mindful of whether or not they're creating a wake. If they're going too fast, they're making too much of a wake, it could lead to property damage or injury to another boater. What's important to understand is that there are stand-on vessels and there are give-way vessels. So in any situation where it's passing port to port or an overtaking situation or a crossing situation, it's important to understand what role you play. If you're the stand-on vessel, it's important that you maintain course and speed. If you are the give-way vessel, you need to make early and obvious action to avoid collision. And oftentimes that's just turning right or turning to starboard in order to avoid collision. There is no such thing as a right-of-way on the water. So a vessel not under command cannot do anything to avoid collision. A commercial vessel with set nets out would not be able to navigate as easily maybe as a recreational boater, so there's a hierarchy. The other consideration of hierarchy is the amount of draft. So, for example, consider a channel situation. If you have a larger commercial vessel that has a lot more draft, that has a lot more boat in the water, it needs the center of the channel in order to operate. So if you have a large vessel and they are coming into a situation where there's a paddle craft that doesn't have much draft at all, that paddle craft needs to stay to the outsides of the channel in order to allow the boat with the most draft to have the center of the channel. What's really important for all boaters, whether you're the stand-on or the give-way vessel, it's important to note that all mariners should depart from these rules in order to avoid collision. So even if you are the stand-on vessel in a situation, you might have to give way in order to avoid the collision if another boater doesn't know what they're supposed to be doing.